that's the plan. But yeah, we're now living in the final confrontation between the church and the anti-church, the gospel versus the anti-gospel, just as John Paul II said. And so, Our Lady said in Medjugorje, she says, you've forgotten that through prayer and fasting, you can avert wars and suspend the laws of nature. So that was at Medjugorje. But then John Paul II said to us, one of the main things of his pontificate was renewing the faithful in praying the rosary. He said in Rosarium Virginis Mariae, at times when Christianity itself seemed under threat, its deliverance was attributed to the power of this prayer. And Our Lady of the Rosary was acclaimed as the one whose intercession brought salvation. Now, why? And here's the answer. Pope John Paul said in the same document, the Rosary, though clearly Marian in character, is at its heart a Christocentric prayer. The center of gravity in the Hail Mary, the hinge, as it were, which joins its two parts, is the name of Jesus. Remember what St. Paul said, the weapons of our warfare are not worldly, but have divine power to destroy strongholds. In the Rosary, we say the name of Jesus 53 times. It's the hinge. It's the center of the prayer. It's in fact supposed to be the center of our meditation, is focusing on the life of Jesus alongside Our Lady. And in this invocation of the prayer of Jesus, we're saying his name. And the Catechism teaches that the name of Jesus actually contains the very presence it signifies. So when I say Jesus in prayer and blessing, I'm invoking the very presence of Jesus right there in my midst. And this is why I believe exorcists, when they say the Hail Mary is so powerful, one demon said to an exorcist that it's like a blow upon my head every time you say the Hail Mary. In one part, it's because Our Lady, the humble little virgin, undid the knot of Eve that tied humanity into sin, and then Our Lady's yes undid that knot. And so demons are humiliated that this little girl was so perfectly obedient while they were perfectly disobedient. And then the second element is that Jesus is invoked, the name of Jesus. It's a powerful prayer. And brothers and sisters, Pope Leo the 13th, and again, keep in mind, Pope Leo XIV wants to follow in the footsteps of this Pope. He said, thanks to this new method of prayer of the Rosary, he said, piety, faith, and union began to return in the church, and the projects and devices of the heretics to fall to pieces. Now, we may not be able to stop what's happening in Iran today. Maybe we're gone too far, but there's a lot that goes on that Our Lady's more concerned about, which is the salvation of souls. Pope Leo XIII says many wanderers also returned to the way of salvation, and the wrath of the impious was restrained by the arms of those Catholics who had determined to repel their violence. So yes, there is power in the Rosary to repel the violence. And the most historically famous example is the Battle of Muret, in which the Battle of Lepanto, they warded off the Muslim horde and it was an impossible victory from the point of view of the church. They were going to be overrun. They prayed the Rosary, and on the walls they had, around the whole city there, they had this inscription: neither valor, nor arms, nor armies, but Our Lady of the Rosary gave us victory. After they prayed the Rosary and they defeated, the Muslims were defeated. So this is a powerful prayer for us. And it's challenging to us because the Rosary is a repetition. It's not a heaping up of words like Jesus condemned. The Pharisees thought that they could just repeat a whole bunch of words and it would win God's heart. And frankly, brothers and sisters, if you do that with the Rosary, you just I put in my Rosary, that's not prayer. That's not, John Paul II taught, that's not what you do with this. It's entering into the mysteries and praying with Our Lady through her eyes, and entering into the heart of Jesus and praying this prayer. Then that meditation on the Gospels and that invocation of the name of Jesus and Our Lady's intercession, that's what makes it powerful. So don't just rattle it off like it's an auction,
Yeah.
an auctioneer, Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee, blessed Lord of thy soul, to the statue in the corner. So anyway, I think we need to renew our love of the Rosary and
Yeah.
just trust the Pope, trust the popes, trust Our Lady. This prayer is powerful. It's been proven over and over again. Let's just do it, and the time is now to do it. And
Yeah.
I'm calling my family. Let's do it.
Yeah.
I know it's hard,
Yeah.
but let's offer that sacrifice of praise.